being stealth at your job is a job, and I'm exhausted. For any of you guys that don't know, I recently got a new job. As a trans person, it is a whole nother level of stress. I used to not be stealth, and I used to kind of be open about being trans in the workplace. And I know to some people that sounds crazy, but I was and I still am very comfortable with being transgender. So I don't care to hide it if I don't have to. But I've learned over the years of being out as trans in the workplace, people tend to treat me different. I get asked very intrusive questions, and it just got very old. So nowadays I do live stealth. If you don't know what stealth means, it just means that you're not open about being trans, and typically you have passing privilege to where no one can really tell you're trans, so you get by pretty well just being seen as a cisgender person. And it's got its pros and its cons, but right now I'm here to talk about the cons because it's super tiring. Right now I'm just on my lunch break. I actually have to go back to work, and I had to switch my hoodie because it had the name of the job that I work at, and I obviously don't want to out the job, but yeah, I just have a couple of minutes, and I wanted to just vent and talk about just how tiring it is and why a lot of people don't want to come out about being trans, because a big issue that cisgender people have is that we hide it and we don't tell people, and it's like, this is kind of why. So believe it or not, when you're stealth in the workplace, it's almost like we bring energy towards us where people come to us and just tell us how they feel about the trans community or even other parts of the LGBTQ community. When you live stealth, you're put in a very awkward situation. Do you want to out yourself and say, hey, you're a piece of for saying that because I'm a part of this community that you're talking about? Or do you just walk away and pretend it didn't happen, but then you jeopardize that person going around and thinking it's okay to talk to people like that? Or you can confront this person and just be like, hey bro, like that wasn't cool. But now you have to deal with that person every single day and have this awkward energy because now they know that like you feel a certain way about their beliefs. So all in all, it's just super awkward. And personally for me, I don't out myself, but I do correct people with their behavior. I don't tolerate bullshit. I don't tolerate hearing people talk shit about other groups of people, even if I'm not a part of that group. But specifically for the situation that I'm dealing with right now at my job and jobs I've had in the past, I work in a field where it is very toxic, and I know you're probably like, well, why do you keep working these jobs? Well, I have a craft, and my craft is detailing cars. And so if any of you guys know about dealerships, you know that it comes with a lot of toxic masculinity. And with toxic masculinity, for some reason, toxic men love involving themselves within the LGBTQ community. That's not a coincidence. If you know, you know. But yeah, for some reason, they just love to talk about gay people and trans women and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And unfortunately, because I live stealth, I hear about it all the time. My pizza rolls are done. Unfortunately, living stealth, I hear about it all the time. Whereas if I was not stealth and I was openly trans, people typically would have the common decency to shut up and not express their opinions on the LGBTQ community. But because I live stealth and I have passing privilege, people come to me thinking that I'm going to talk about the same bullshit and engage in the same conversations that they do. They expect me to agree with what they're saying until I don't. The reason I say that this is such an exhausting situation is because I will admit, I don't stop them all the time because it gets to a point where I don't want to deal with such awkward encounters after I call someone out. And I know this might sound like a coward move to some because I should be standing up for the whole LGBTQ community all the time. But when there's conflict between my livelihood and the way I make money and put food on the table for my family, and then also having to put myself in a situation to where I am now a target because I'm always advocating and putting people in their place every chance I can, now it's making the workplace not only dangerous, but awkward as heck. Like, it's super awkward, and I don't like awkward situations. And then on top of it, it's exhausting when you really feel like you're making connections with people at work just for them to say something transphobic or homophobic or racist even. It gets super awkward because now you finally feel like you're getting comfortable in this new job. It's a great place, the environment's cool, just for somebody to screw it up and say something completely left field and show you just how much they actually don't like you if they knew you were trans or gay or whatever the case may be. Specifically for me, trans. It sucks making connections with people who end up being transphobic as f***. It really does. It's tiring, it's exhausting, and then from then on, you just have to pretend and play cool with these people even though you know they don't like you deep down if they knew you were really trans, and it's exhausting. It really is. And these are just a few reasons why people don't out themselves, for one, or don't feel safe working in these environments. There's no reason I should go to work knowing that I can't be my true authentic self, because again, I come from a place of being completely comfortable being trans. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not embarrassed of it. But what I'm not gonna do is put myself in a situation where people are talking about me behind my back, or another thing, living stealth, it still puts me in a shitty situation because now it's almost like people feel like I'm going to engage in their bullshit, but I'm not. Lastly, because I gotta go eat my pizza rolls. Lastly, I'm gonna just end this and make a conclusion with, to the cisgender heterosexual people, you don't realize how many of us exist right next to you. The people you are talking are standing right there listening. The people you're talking to are the people you're talking about. You see, you guys think that you know when someone is trans. You associate all trans people with this extremist look. And not that there's anything wrong with looking a certain way as a trans person. Please don't think of it that way. You assume that all trans people have a specific look, when in reality, the look is so broad. There are so many trans people that do not look like the way you are explaining and judging and making fun of. So when you're over here making fun of a certain group of people that look a specific way, you don't realize that there are other trans people who don't look that way. You think you know when you come in contact with a trans person, when in reality you almost never do. I'm telling you, we're good at it. And as a full-grown adult for myself, I could never imagine talking about a group of people not knowing if the person I'm talking to is a part of that community. That's crazy to me. Sometimes I'm cool with people having opinions. I'm really cool with it. If you don't like me as a trans person, that's great. But keep it in your head. Keep your opinions in your head. It's the safest thing you can do at this point. It's a dangerous game to play to voice your opinions about a group of people, because 9 times out of 10, the group of people you're bashing are the ones looking you right in your eyes as you do it. So I just wanted to get that off my chest because, again, I'm on my lunch break, and from now on in 2025, anytime a topic or a situation comes up, I'm gonna make a video about it, because my channel is all about education and raw moments that I go through as a trans person, so that other people who go through the same thing don't feel alone, and so that people who think it's okay to do this stuff realize that it's not. If you enjoyed this video, or if you can relate, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. As always, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.